So Nick, we better get down to business. What about Pachelbel's Canon?
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Everyone says we should have it in the repertoire.
That is a fair assessment. So do you want the whole thing, all my 8 notes?
8 notes?
Well, 7 actually. One of it repeats itself in the sequence.
Okay, so you play 8 notes all the way through this piece?
I play 8 notes and then repeat it 28 times.
28 times?
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty boring then, for a cellist.
You could say so.
Okay. All right, if it's so boring then, why does everyone say it's so good?
Well, it's beautifully written, and all the excitement are happening in the upper strings, the violins.
The upper strings?
Yeah, they're talking to each other beautifully.
That's beautiful up there in the upper strings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that because it's a superior instrument?
Oh, get yourself a violinist then, Mike.
Fair enough. Good comeback. Before I offend Nick any further, it's worth explaining why many cellists have a bittersweet relationship with Pachelbel's Canon. The structure of the piece is anchored on a ground bass. That's a bass line that repeats exactly the same throughout the entire piece. You can see here that Pachelbel only bothers to write it out once because it's such a common structural device in Baroque music. And whilst it provides a solid foundation in which the highly decorative and increasingly virtuosic parts of the upper strings can be framed, it does make it rather boring for the cellist to play. There's actually only 6 notes in this ground bass, not 7, because 2 of the 8 notes are repeated. Now, that's okay. Sometimes being a musician requires us to play a servile, though crucial role to give freedom for other players to shine. However, the problem with Pachelbel's Canon is that it has become so popular, particularly for weddings, that cellists can pretty much play it in their sleep. In fact, there's a real danger that playing it for the umpteenth time can actually put the cellist to sleep whilst playing. So, given the cello is quite an important part of Two Lads and a Laptop, the challenge for us is how to make an arrangement that's more exciting for Nick to play, to give him some of the exciting stuff that the superior strings, the upper strings, get to play. Fortunately, we do have the laptop vector, of course, and laptops love to carry out repetitive tasks. Okay, so how about we take a different approach? We've got a laptop after all. How about we do a version for solo cello?
Now you're talking.
Laptop can capture your 8 notes, repeat it many, many times.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, it's a canon. So the main line leads, and a couple of bars later, the second line copies exactly.
Exactly.
And another couple of bars later, the third line copies exactly.
Absolutely.
So we can use a delay unit in the laptop to basically repeat the main solo line that you do all the way throughout. So we have the ground bass captured at the beginning, and then the cello main line, well, should be violin, but cello main line.
Yeah.
And the laptop delays it and repeats it. That could be quite exciting.
That could be quite exciting.
Do you think you can cope with the high pitch?
Very good question. That would pose a challenge, well, for many cellists, I would think, because it's written quite a high register at certain passages.
Okay.
So we might have to look at the part, but I will be up for the challenge.
You better get practicing it.
Well, either that or get a 5-string cello.
5 strings? Yeah. Wow, they exist?
It does actually. Oh. Yeah.
So Nick and I are going to work now on a version of Pachelbel's Canon, that well-known, incredibly often requested piece that is just for solo cello, and we'll use laptop to pretty much do everything else, but all coming from Nick's performance. Follow us over the next couple of weeks as we try to put it together.
Well, I better get working then.
Yeah, practicing.
Practicing.
Quite high.
Yes.
Yeah. See you later.
See you later.